why y'all want to do a movie about me, but I'm flattered. I never was much for schooling until I took up a music class when I was 9 and discovered I had a natural talent for the sax. By 14, between odd jobs and hustling, I had saved up enough money to buy a secondhand sax. I joined up with this local blues band, and I guess I was around 16, until one day this cat from Atlanta said he could get us a record deal, playing the blues. Then around 62, I met this singer named Bernadette. I had to convince her to sing with the band. I had to get with her. She had a body like a 12-piece orchestra, and I wanted to play every part of her. Man, we were balling for days. And then one night, she told me she was knocked up. What do I know about being somebody's daddy? So, Bernadette had a little girl she named Janetta, April of 1965. She looked like a little chocolate angel. Bernadette wanted us to get married and for me to get a regular job. But I wasn't a regular job kind of dude.
It was April of 1965 in Atlanta. Daddy was always practicing his horn, day and night and day, just driving Mama crazy. He'd be playing shotgun, shooting for his run now. And anything by James Brown for sure. I think Mama and Daddy was in a band. Mama was singing and Daddy was playing the sax. According to Mama, all the boys in the band wanted her. I think that's why the band broke up.
Then the summer of 1968, the band broke up because no one cared about the blues anymore. I landed an audition with a jazz band in New York City. I still remember the look on Zanetta's face when I kissed her goodbye. I really planned to go back. But after a taste of New York, Bernadette and the baby girl just became a distant memory.
Oh, I remember Mama singing and Daddy dancing with me, standing on his feet. I felt like a debutante or something. Daddy would tell me that I'm his special sweet Georgia peach pie. Life was good. It was better than good. One day, Daddy came and kissed me on the forehead. He said he'd be right back. I waited. He never came back. Not that night or the next. After about a year, I didn't ask about Daddy anymore. Guess I really didn't care. I just can't figure out how he could disappear on us like that. I mean, I could understand if he didn't want to be with Mama anymore. That's one thing. But I'm his daughter. His flesh and blood. And he just threw me away like yesterday's newspaper. And you know the crazy part? I still wish he would walk through that door. Just so I could say, see what you missed out on? You thought you took the music from me, but I got it anyway.
Things started looking up around 1969 when I met this fiery mamacita named Marta in a club in Spanish Harlem. She had legs to kill for, and she had muscle control in her thighs that made me play notes I never thought of. I stayed with her from time to time. She lived just outside Harlem. Her mother stayed there too. Her mother didn't like me one bit. And you know what? I didn't like her either. To her mother. In December of '72, Marta was all upset. She found out she was pregnant. She didn't want a baby to ruin her career, but I was so excited. I get to be a father again. And this time, I was going to get it right. Marta wanted to have an abortion, but after picking that baby up and looking in her innocent face, I was determined that I was not going to let her down. Not this time. We decided to name her Zaria.
So you want to know what I remember about my papi? July of 1973, Spanish Harlem. My abuela, that's my grandma, she said that it was the hottest summer ever. I said I brought the heat. Dancing is in my veins. My mommy was a dancer with the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. And when she would be at home with Papi and Papi would be playing his saxophone, oh, the music would make her so happy. He would pick up that horn and he would play some Average White Band or some Grover Washington Jr. and Mommy would dance like a ballerina. Papi didn't come over all the time, but sometimes he would stay over. And my abuela, she did not like that. She would say that Papi was going to make Mommy burn in hell for making babies outside the church, and then Papi would yell at her and accuse her of teaching me how to cuss in Spanish. And then she would start yelling at me in Spanish, and then nobody really knew what she was saying at all. That Saturday, it was my birthday party. And I wasn't in a party mood. And Mommy tried to do everything to get me in a party mood. She put on my favorite dress and Papi's favorite color on me, roja. But it just wouldn't make me happy. Wouldn't put me in a party mood. So Mommy's right about to cut the birthday cake. And all of a sudden, I hear the birthday song in the hallway. And my heart starts racing. I run to the door and it's Papi. And he's standing there with a beautiful ballet ballerina Barbie doll in a box. She was so bonita, I could hardly touch her. I took the doll and I went in the room to show my abuela. And when I came back, my puppy was gone.
In 1977, Zaria was 4, and I got a gig in Baltimore with a promise of a record deal. I talked to Zaria whenever I could. Her voice was the one thing that made me happier other than my music. I got busy. I didn't see her again till her 8th or 9th birthday.
After my 8th birthday party, he never called again. I stopped caring after he stopped calling, and I was angry. Mommy was traveling the world with her dance company, and I studied ballet, and I studied African dance, and I poured all of my anger into my dance. It made me so much more expressive.
In 1982, I left Baltimore and moved to Washington, D.C., better known as Chocolate City back then. Landed a great job in a classy joint called the Blues Alley. Blues Alley. Then one night I spotted this chick with her friends, dressed in a suit, looking all uptight. After my set, I decided I'd go over and talk to her, not expecting anything, of course. But by the time we were done, she gave me the 7 digits. Her name was Ramona. She was a classical pianist. She had a body like a brick, you know what? Woo, baby. What a body. My band was working on our first album. Things were finally falling in place. My life was looking like the way I had imagined it. everything was going good with Ramona and I thought I would ask her to marry me. I moved in with her in Capitol Hill. And then she hit me with it. She is pregnant. Oh, Lord. Whew. September '84, Ramona gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. We named her Zoe, which means life. Life was good until my bad luck streak showed up again, and our record label changed ownerships from jazz to hip hop. So our record deal got put on hold indefinitely.
I had an interesting childhood. I remember when I was 3, Zan and I would sit on the front porch. We lived in this row house on Capitol Hill, and he'd come out and play a saxophone. Well, not all the neighbors appreciated his music as much as I did. There was this one thing Zan used to do. He would take his horn out, and he would just blow this long note. And I'd put my back kind of like against the horn, and I would try to hold on, and he would just blow and blow until it tickled, like, until I couldn't take it anymore. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Well, Mom would come in the room, and she would fly around the corner, and then she'd see what we were doing, and she'd just smile and shake her head.
I do remember playing my sax for Zoe. She would sit there like my own private audience and clap her tiny little hands for every song I played. Man, I love playing for her.
Mom says I started acting out, being a brat. I do remember that sometimes I wouldn't even eat. And if I really wanted to make her mad, I'd pretend that I didn't understand my piano lessons. That really pissed her off. But I figured she must have done something to push him away, so I punished her for it. I remember that year I had a birthday party at the National Zoo. They used to always take me to the zoo because I love the monkeys. Well, that year, Zan was a no-show. I remember when we got home, he was there. He was laying on the floor, passed out. And it was this empty bottle just laying beside him.
I kind of remember her birthday. Ramona got her a princess birthday cake. Ben got fired the same day. So straight up, I got wasted. But Ramona wanted to talk. So she showed me the cake, and the smell of all that icing got to me. So I threw up. I threw up on the cake, and I threw up on Ramona. And she threw me out.
Eventually, we got used to the idea that Zan wasn't coming back, like ever. So I threw myself into my music, and I even started to write my own songs. When I was 20, I actually was able to sell one of them to the top Billboard artist. You know, I always wondered if Zan ever knew that, or if he even cared. I thought that maybe if I had just learned to play the sax, maybe if I played the sax instead of the piano, that he would have loved me. There was this one time, I remember I snuck down the stairs and I picked up his sax and I just blew. And I must have done it wrong, because the next day my lip was like swollen. He doesn't even know I did that for him. It's all good now, though, because after a couple years of psychotherapy, I got all my daddy issues worked out. And now, oh, you should hear me when I play Take the A Train.
I do think about them. All three of my girls. I wonder how they are, what they look like, who they grew up to be. Maybe if things turn around for me, I'll get a record deal, then my music will be in a movie. And then they'll be proud of their daddy.
Excuse me, but this row is reserved for family. So if you don't mind.
I'm well aware of that, thank you. So what are you doing sitting here?
Exactly. Could the two of you please be respectful enough to move?
What? Who are you? I'm his
daughter.
What?
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that I've had a sister all this time and didn't know about it?
Seems like we all had two sisters we didn't know about. Are there any others? I mean, do we have brothers?
I don't know. It's just messed up we had to find out about it like this.
Talk about your Rolling Stone. This is so low. So what did he do? Leave my mama for yours?
I don't think so. So don't look down your nose at me. But I'm guessing he left mine for hers.
No, he didn't. Not according to my mom. He left for his music. That's all he cared about. That's all he ever cared about.
I thought that letter was a joke. Some kind of a sick prank. I only came out of morbid curiosity. You know what? I'm not going to stay here and listen to a lot of people say a lot of nice things about a man who was not nice to me or my mother.
I didn't know what to think. I mean, after not hearing from him for so long, and then all of a sudden I get this letter, part of me was sad. And part of me said, there is justice in the world.
You know, I didn't come with any expectation, really. I just thought that since he was our father, I don't know, it's the least we could do, right? We owe him that much.
I don't owe him a damn thing. It's the other way around. He owes me. But I guess that's a debt I'll never collect on. You know what? It's been real interesting getting to know you both. But I have another engagement, and I really don't want to be late.
Wait a minute. Maybe you would feel better if you had a chance to tell him how you feel. He's right over there in that urn.
For years, I tried to figure out what I did wrong to make you go away. I blamed Mama. I blamed myself. You know, Mama's still living at the same place because she thought you might be coming back. She wanted to be right here where you could find her. Therefore, I have decided not to forgive you for the apology I never got. Not forgiven.
You know, I really used to hate you. But then I finally came to terms with it. It took several years of psychoanalysis, but I finally think I understand. And because of that, I don't hate you anymore. At least now I won't be lying when I tell people my father passed away. Zane, you made plenty of terrible choices. But from what I can see, you got it right at least 3 times. But I'm still mad at you, so just don't get it twisted.
And another thing, I could almost forgive you for leaving me, but for deserting Mommy? She was a dancer. And because you left her, she became nothing but a shell of a woman. And when Abuela died, she just got worse. She stayed in her room for days and days at a time. The doctor had to put her on medicine because she got so depressed.
You could have chose me. I wouldn't have told him.